Hey, welcome back to Hunter Logan on Mike. Still in season 6, but this is episode 11. Now, I still have all kind of crap going on. Now I found out that my birthday has stage 4 cancer in the lungs. All the crap is still going on. His ex-wife has now gotten power of attorney over the power of attorney that I had. Now, continuing on with everything, the plumbing in the building is backed up. It keeps coming up in the sink. I don't know what's going on, but I can't get it. I can't get it to go down. And it's raining, and the ceiling's leaking again. There's new leaks coming. So not only do I have the swimming pools out with the old leaks, but there's new leaks. And the new leak now is in my office where it never leaked before. And there's a hole and it sagged. And you can see it. There's a hole. It's just coming down. I'm like, ooh, missed my desk. But, So it's getting worse. The building's getting worse. I got to find storage by the end of the month. I got to get out of the building by the end of the month. This is July now. I also got to get Royland to Shreveport second to last week of the month because she's got surgery on her neck finally. She's finally going to get that surgery done. I also got to make a trip to Nashville because I'm going to be playing a show at the Texas Troubadour. A one-nighter. All this going on. Oh, and I got to move. I got to move by the end of the month. I got to be out. Not to mention all the stress stuff going on with my dad. My birth dad. Oh, man. That's a thing in itself. But that's still going on. So, I get the last brother from the landlord. He's a landlord too. I get him over there to show him. I said, hey, this plumbing problem, I can cap it off, but it's going to back up somewhere. I don't know what you want to do. I'd spent a whole day on it, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm going to cap it off, and I'll bring some water or something I don't know. I'll use jug water to wash my hands and flush the toilet, but it's going to back up somewhere. I don't know where it's going to back up to, but you're going to have a mess. You might want to call a plumber. Because the deal I had with his brother was that the rent was, well, it was affordable, but I had to take care of the building. And I couldn't afford no plumber. So he said, you know the number of a plumber? I said, yeah, I know one. I can call off the books, off the hours. He does it. It'd be cheaper. He said, yeah, we'll do that, man. And so he's looking at everything, and he didn't know about all the swimming pools and the leaking and all that. He didn't know none of that. I said, what do you mean you didn't know? He said, my brother didn't tell me none of that stuff. He said, we should have took care of that for you. I'm like, well, yeah, you should have. He said, I didn't know. He said, I didn't know that was like that. He said, we patched our side for the leaks. I'm like, huh? You patched your side and didn't patch mine? Yeah, he said, we patched ours. He said, if we'd known, we would patch this one. I said, well, Graylin knew. I said, I'm like, whatever. So he got the plumber out and we got it fixed. That was good. I'm still trying to find storage, but there ain't nothing to be found, really. And I know I got the trip going to Nashville and I got the surgery for my wife. And I asked my dad, I said, you think you could do a one-nighter? I said, we'll just go and come back. He said, yeah, man, I can do that. I said, all right. I said, I just got a plane, we'll go back. So we did. We drove up there, got up there and played that night, came on back. Yeah, I mean, it was a quick trip. It was a good trip. when I got back from the trip, my granddaughter's mother, she had the building I'm in now. She said, hey, she said, I'm going to be getting out of this building. She said, if you want the lease, you can have it. This is one of the most affordable ones that we had around here, because most of them run anywhere from $15,000 to $2,000. This one was under $1,000, so I'm like, yeah, I need to jump on that. I said, yeah, I'll take it. Everything I looked at was just way, way over that. But in the meantime, I'm gonna start packing everything up. So I start packing stuff up, got bins, and in between, taking care of Roland, going back and forth. I'm packing up stuff at the old office, and then the brother comes across and he says, hey, and I'm just about got everything packed up, I think. He said, hey, if we patch the roof, would you want to stay? I'm like, you want to tell me about that now? And I'm like, yeah, man, it'd be a lot easier for me to stay than it would to go. If you're going to patch the roof and, stop the leaking, yeah, heck yeah. So the alumni weekend, the kids were coming down for the alumni weekend. They wanted to look at it first. And that was the last weekend in July. But I had to sign that lease. If I'm going to take it, I have to sign the lease by then. I'm like, listen. I said, can they have the guy come do the estimate? I mean, look at the place and see if it can be done before then. I said, I need to know. I mean, if it can be done, if you can look at it and it can be done, then I'll go ahead and I'll stay. But if not, man, I said, I can't miss out on this lease, Well, they said no. They said, no, well, we need to be there when he's there, when he can do it. And they even ended up not even coming. So it's a good thing I took the lease, I guess. But that didn't even happen. But then we went to Shreveport for the surgery. Like I said, the 3 and the 4 were messed up. But they decided to do an x-ray. That's how good the surgeon is, the neurosurgeon. They decided to do an x-ray before the surgery, and they found out that 5 and 6 was messed up too since the last one. So they went ahead and did that too. So she had 3, 4, 5, and 6 done that day as well. I'm just really thankful that God put that neurosurgeon in our path, because he has more than once called to check on her. And I'm sure he doesn't do that with every patient, but for some reason he has called just to see how she is doing and to check and make sure that she's okay. He's done that on more than one occasion. So I want to thank the Lord for that right now. That is a true blessing. And he is one of the best. Dr. Savadecker. He is one of the best in the country. Very blessed to be able to have him. When we go back for the checkup, I mean, it's 100% healed. So her neck, that is, it's right. Everything is good. But we won't find that out till, we go back. I'm just telling you ahead of time. Guess you just got a clean bill of health with that. So we do. We sign the lease, and I get her done with surgery, and then I got to be out the building at the end of the month. So I got a week, and it took a week to move. Like my dad, he helped as much as he could. I mean, he took us out pretty quick. So we get a bit of the day in, and that was it. My mom came and packed up the pictures and stuff off the wall and all that. I moved a lot of stuff by myself in my car. Now my son, who works at the tire shop here, when he got off, he would come and he'd make a load in his truck with me. But I just let him do one because it was hot. It was so hot. And he'd been working in the heat all day, so I wouldn't let him do but one load. I didn't want to overdo it for him. So we just did, the one load a day like that. But we got everything in here. But it took a week to do it. We didn't have a bunch of help. But we got it in between everything. So we got in the building before the end of the month. And things are on top of things. Like, I mean, it's because it's not even half of the space that we had at the other place. It's a quarter of the space that we had at the other place. But it don't leak. It doesn't leak, and it seems to be, well, it's a lot newer than what the other place was. A lot nicer. So God has us here for a reason. I believe that. And so now we're in a new place. All those leaks and plumbing issues and everything, that's all done. And now we got a new place to get used to. And man, don't know what that's going to entail. It's just everything's on top of everything. Got a little walkway. I got the board set up and ready to do the show. It's not a coincidence to me that my birthday dies on the same day that I do the first show here. It's really not. I didn't announce it. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything on the air about it. It is what it is. It is what it was. I'm at peace. Now let him pass in peace too. We're good. I'll tell you this before I get out of this episode. And if you've been listening to the radio at all, you know it. This is the pruning process. And it had started already. We're already in the fire. So now God's starting to prune. It's out with the old, in with the new. There's still some things that we're going to have to go through. Oh, there's still some leftover crap, but we're getting about ready to get out of it. You'll see that as we go more into it. I'm going to leave that one right there. I believe when we come back, it'll be episode 12. Probably going to be the last episode for season 6. Thanks for hanging in there. Check out hunterlogan.org. Also HLEradio.com. Remember, Jesus loves you and so do I.